It took me years to discover the secrets of RNG in SMM2. The unbeatable Azure password is finally here. In the past, I want to make an impossible level. I can use a combination lock in which players have to input correct numbers in order to succeed. However, it turns out this no longer works, as people can gain access to the level layout easily with a mod now. Anyway, look at this vegetable. He broke my previous impossible level and posted it on Twitter. This is unacceptable. To revenge, I researched more to build a more secure lot so he cannot break in and rob my level clear rate ever again. Everything starts with RNG, Random Number Generator, aka randomization. Let's talk about how RNG in SMM2 works. Look at the poor hammer bros. When I play the level, they either walk or moonwalk randomly. Now look closely. The walking direction of these hammer bros are right, left, right. When we play the level again, we find that the hammer bros are still walking the same direction. No matter how much I play the level, they will walk in the same way. Does that mean SMM2 got no RNG? Obviously no. SMM2 actually calculates randomization using seed. It is a number that changes according to toes movement. To prove it, I will do some random stuff before seeing how hammer bro moves. The hammer bros are all walking right. Now, let's try one more time. Now, it's different. However, the RNG does not become pure random whenever I move. Let's try holding right and walk to the wall, then press up to enter the door. Triple right. Let us do that again and see the results. Look at that, the results are the same. This proves that toes movement affects RNG. Well, how is that useful for creating an impossible level? We need the player to do some specific actions in order to generate a specific RNG seed. Here, we have a door that leads to the RNG session, and Toe has to walk to the door and enter it. Our mushroom will then see the hammer bros walking randomly into a nooked block. Now, remember the position of the hammer bros, and add mantras to the side that the hammer bros didn't walk to. If hammer bro walks right, we put mantra into the left nook block. That way, when the player does a different action, the hammer bros might walk to the wrong direction, which causes a black mantra blocking our mushroom. Great, we made a simple action password lock. Besides walking, what else affects the RNG and the action password? After doing some experiments, I conclude the result. For example, I compared the RNG of jumping and not jumping to see if jumping affects the RNG. We found that jumping, crouching, looking up and running affects RNG, while pressing Y, set out won't work. To put it simply, movement affects RNG. How do SMM2 record the seed? I don't know either, but I do have a hypothesis. In coding, seed is a number, which completely changes the result of randomness. SMM2 also uses a number for the seed. The seed generated is a sum of all movements. Every frame the mushroom walks, runs, jumps, crouches or looks up, the seed will be added a number to the total. But didn't we just found that input doesn't affect the seed? Then what does? The velocity of toe, with crouching and looking up as an exception. To make it more clear, here's an example. Look at the toe closely. when he jumps. Each frame, the velocity toe gain is different. Briefly looking at it, toe gains the most height at frame 1. Let's just say 5 is added to the seat. And in frame 2, the height gained is a bit less. Let's say 4 is added to the seat, and so on and so on. When toe is falling, does the seat number decrease? I'd say no. Although the velocity y of toe right now is minus, the seat system automatically absolutes it. To support my fact, I will use walk left, walk right example. Here, toe will run right and enter the door, then he can run to either left or right. During the run to the first door, assume the seat is increased by 0.4 in the first frame, 0.7 in the second frame. You don't have to care. And with a sum of 500 after the door entry. If he chooses to run right, assume 200 is added to the seat, which results the hammer bros to move out with a seat of 700. Trying again, but this time running left after the first door instead of right. As you guessed it, the result is same as running to the right, which means both results have the same seat. This proves the seat is a sum of all movements. Another important thing to remind, moving the same distance with different speed will not return the same seat. It is the sum of velocity, not distance traveled. Also, it is almost impossible to simulate a jump seat with other method, even with a small jump. The example I am showing are whole numbers, but in reality, it could be decimal points. Finally, just assume crouching as 0.345 and looking up as 0.728 the seat. They are just random numbers I thought of. For the most interesting part, let's think of some contraption ideas that require toe to move around and generate an exclusive seat. Let's start with the easiest to understand method. A Timmy level. Mario has to find the secret inside the Timmy level in order to generate the seat. In this example, you see a mushroom, a staircase, a form, and a donut block. First, toe walks to the mushroom, then run after collecting it. I did some random crouches and jumps and stuff, but I will explain them later. He will also do a full spin jump while holding Y, then another spin jump without dashing. Here, he walked down the staircase again. He then ran to the right, walk jump, and dash jump to the form. Then he spin jump up and walk to the door. This method can be confusing, but people could guess it. Next is the left-right method. It is basically the system I create for the last action password level. The on-off blocks are placed alternatively, and toe has to press left, right in a specific order to generate the seat we want. Remember the potato I talked at the beginning? He somehow managed to break the code. Is he lucky and matched my code exactly? No, he just matched the number of times I pressed left. That is because the seat in SMM2 is calculated using the sum of toes movement. I didn't realize this before, so this method is highly unrecommended. Primary method, another abandoned idea, where toe starts off at the top of the primary and choose to fall left or right multiple times. As we discussed earlier, as long as the movement is same, the seat wouldn't change wherever toe does the action. Note block method. Toe will fall into a pit with a note block. He will small bounce on it several times, and then do a full bounce and continue walking once the number of bounces reached. Doing this on a spring and twister also differs, as the height given are different. This would be a great lock, but it is too short. 2D method. Finds and on-off blocks are spread through the level, which makes the password extremely hard to guess. Just like the left-right method, climbing up and down on different places are actually the same, but this time it's harder to repeat. You can also hold Y while climbing on some places. Door method. 3 doors are placed on the plain ground. It is basically a left-right method with doors added. Since doors teleport tool directly, it would make more combinations. Ground method. Random ground are placed in the level. Toad has to do some cool parkour and create a unique password. There are some sneaky things you can add no matter what method you choose. You can set how many crouches you will do in the level. Make a list of numbers of crouching, looking up, spin jumping, and jumping. You can perform those at the start of the level. Code breakers will sure to hate you just trying to guess the numbers of those. Final reminder, make sure that the inputs are consistent and don't make things like doing a half jump, doing shell jumps and stuff. Those will lead to inconsistency. Remember that action password should be something that is easy to do but hard to guess. Yay, we did it! I think you can handle the information in the video. Let's jump into the final part, RNG Check session. If you remember the hammer bros, yes, we are going to use them. What the hammer bros output is the direction moving. They also hit the note blocks when they move. What we are gonna do is put munchers inside the note blocks which the hammer bros won't move towards. After building a password contraption, run through the hallway of hammer bros. Then we can save it using the capture video function. Finally, we will put munchers to the note blocks according to the hammer bros moving directions. Without further explanation, I will create an action password level with you to show you the process. First, we will create the template, a blank space for entering password, then a full height wall that blocks the game from loading enemies on the next room. Create a door that connects the room. In the second room, we check the RNG, so we will create a box for hammer bros, with 2 note blocks adjacent to it. For now, do not put munchers into it. We will also want to put the door mid-air and put a form to force the player to run right. That way, the player cannot despawn the munchers. Now, duplicate the hammer bros box throughout the whole level. You can also place a row of invisible blocks to prevent players from getting past the form. If you want to link your level to the second session, put a pipe at the end. Forgot to mention, the seed SMM2 uses in main world and subworld are different. Remember that entering a pipe will not reset the seed though. Anyway, I'm going to mix some methods I have mentioned earlier to create a brand new potato unbeatable action password. I create a contraption that hits the switch continuously, then make a 2D grid for Toad to move, and place doors to confuse the players. I'm gonna split the password guessing process into 2 parts. One is 2D grid plus door, another is note block plus ground. So I place a note block, spring and twister. I can think of a 3-digit number and bounce there. Oh yeah, before that, Toad also has to bonk the ceiling several times by running to the left. After some modifies, the level is here. Let's see how annoying is the password. So yes, pretty complicated. I will guide you through my beautiful handwriting. So the spin times 2, crouch times 6, normal times 1, up times 2 means spin jumping, crouching and stuff to do in the beginning. Those will modify the seed directly. After the prefixes, out means run and left means left. So I run left, then run right without bonking the dot line block. E equals to enter door. Then I keep holding Y except for blue arrows. Go left for twice. Enter again. Climb up once, then release Y, and continue climbing for twice. Then I press down and drop thrice. And go left. Climb up, climb left, climb up, go down. Red arrow means drop and hold right. And finally walk right. Okay, then I enter the door to the second part. I walk to the dot line block, bonk twice, run left, spin jump twice, run left, jump 8 times, then I run to the next block. I bounce 4 times at the next block, run to right, bounce 5 times on spring, walk to right, blow thrice, and walk to the right most. Do you think that's it? No. I walk left and run right before entering the door. After a long journey, Toad rushes for his life only to record the Hammer Bros directions. Hold the capture button immediately and then jot down the direction of the Hammer Bros using a paper or whatever. Finally, add mantras to the opposite side of the direction the Hammer Bros is walking. Double check the password again, or just upload the level if you find this annoying. Here you go, a bull-worthy, impossible, incredible action pass. I should end the video right here, but recently a cool guy named 10 found an even better way to check RNG. It's using coins, shiny yet dead. I won't say that because I don't have the copyright, but let's jump into the setup. Here we have tons of coins which will be activated by a power block. They will bounce either left or right and will get a key if RNG is wrong, which makes Mario unable to reach the goal. After entering the subworld, the seed is completely fresh, but getting a key or not will somehow change it a bit, and that's how getting key kills Mario. Unlike the Hammer Bros method, coins don't have a small entity limit, which is 100 for Hammer Bros and 2000 for coins, so the RNG check would be more secure. Moreover, it's like 2 million times faster to check RNG like this, since the coins can be placed on different layers and you can place conveyor belts. The downside to this is that the subworld must not be used at all. In this example, I only used 60 coins as it's already secure enough. That's a probability of 1 over a number with 18 digits. Here you go, a bull-worthy, impossible, incredible action password level is here. It took me years to discover the secrets of RNG in SMM2. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to spam the like button now. Finally, I've uploaded an action password online, which obviously the password isn't shown here. The level ID is 3965WX8FG. Feel free to be a potato and challenge me. Fish you for potato. Fish you for potato. Fish you for